let's go to sign language.
Oh, yeah.
You and your sign language. Now, if any of those letters fits you perfectly, it's definitely the end, the need to be right. And I'm looking like, girl, what are we doing here? What are we talking about? I'm sitting here, I was like, I know she did not just hear a damn thing I just said. I was like, she was focused on the target. I'm gonna let them, not him, I'm gonna let them finish talking. And then I'm gonna slide in and finish what I got to say. I was like, you're not fooling me, but you're so happy to fool the whole entire panel. I'm like, are y'all guys that damn dumb?
No. So the thing is, I listen to everybody else's perspective. As I try to give mine, I get pushback, cut off, pushback, cut off, pushback, cut off. So I'm just trying to wait so I can at least get my full thought out so that you can at least understand where I'm coming from. But I understand, I get it. It's so different from what other people feel is right that they can't help but to jump up and say, no, you're wrong. Modern woman, blah, 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 blah. And I get it. But I just want to give my perspective. Like, I let everybody give their perspective. I want to be heard like everybody else is heard on the panel. I'm waiting patiently. I'm being quiet. Even when they jump in on me. The first few, I'm patient. But it's five. It's 5 at a time. It's nonstop. So it's like, okay, now I'm getting irritated. Then when I snap, then it's like, oh, Fantasy Island Girl is tripping. She's going off the rails. And it's like, I'm frustrated because nobody's listening. Nobody's letting me finish what I'm saying. So it does get to a point where I'm not even hearing anyone else anymore because it's like no one's hearing me. No one even cares. So I'm just trying to get my message out and then we can continue the conversation. That's it.
Is that why you run the red light all the time? Meaning when people say, hold on, everybody stop talking, you say, hold on, I'm not at my destination yet. As soon as I get this last sentence out, then I'll stop talking. Is that why?
No, because I feel like for the most part, I'm the first person to stop. I've been on a lot of panels. The times that get highlighted are the times where I lose my cool. But for the most part, I do not. So I'm like, yeah, you guys can highlight my faults so that I can get better. I'm fine with that. But I know that I'm very patient. I've been called the most patient woman. I waited for 5 hours on hold to cancel a flight. I'm very patient. I'm a very patient woman. So
recently?
It was last year.
They had cell phones? They had apps?
Yeah, I was on hold. I was on hold because I needed them to transfer the money back so I could get tickets to something else.
Oh, hell no.
Yeah, but I was very patient. That's the moral of the story. The moral of the story is I'm a very patient woman.
Okay, that's fair. Man, trust me, you're gonna do more than refund me if I'm waiting for 5 fucking hours.
No, they refunded me though.
After that 5 hours, you better.
Crazy. Yeah, it was crazy.
Well, yeah, you are definitely you do show signs of being patient at times when people are not getting on your nerves. I do see moments of patience in you.
Thank you.
But so I can definitely admit that. You see most of the women that come on the panel, majority of them cannot hang. They get ran off the panels outside of being voted off, being paid to be kicked out. They just can't hang on the panels. They cannot. They have a point that they're trying to make, but they cannot formulate the words correctly to get them out. Maybe because you're speaking on a public platform, you're speaking to like at least 9 people on the panel. And keep in mind, we're on panels where there's like maybe 600, 700, 800 people watching at a time. But you came in here like, I've been done this, I've been did this. And I just saw how I think you picked, fellas, you my dogs, I love y'all, just bear with me. Don't get too mad. I think I saw you picked apart Aaron briefly. It didn't last that long, trust me.
I'm sure.
You picked apart Cheeky. You got.
Don't ever let him hear you say that. Oh my God. Don't ever.
You got, and what I mean, and you got the way you got Sway and JB out of character. For them to call you out of your name, I'm like, fellas, what are we doing here? And I'm like, guys, we can't do this. And I was like, I have to get back on Michael, like, hey, y'all, we don't do this. I turned my camera off and I died laughing.
Oh my God. Like, I didn't know them like that. So they didn't know me either. So I didn't know this was out of character for them. I thought they were just trolling me. So I was like, they're all upset about these trolls. I don't care about these trolls, but they weren't trolling. They were really mad. I did not know.
Out of the 4, put me to the side. I'm for the most part nobody. Although when I talk, everybody has to listen. When the way you shaking up Aaron, Cheeky, Sway, and JB, for the point where at least 2 of them call you out of your name, I was like, y'all let her do this to y'all? I was like, y'all really let her do this to y'all?
I swear to God. I swear to God. I did not know. I did not know that's where it was going, to be honest. Like, we're all up there trying to get our point out, right? But I think they are used to women, like, giving up or yielding or crying or something. And I wasn't going to do that. So they get frustrated with me because they think I have this need to be right. But really, I just have this need to be understood. You don't have to agree with me. I don't need you to say that I'm right. I just need you to stop acting like I'm fucking crazy when I'm telling you these things. Like, it makes me feel like I'm speaking French and you guys are speaking English and I'm trying to get you to understand me by any means. And they're like, stop trying to be understood. No.
You always acknowledge. One thing I do with people is I let them know in some way, shape, or form, whether I'm direct about it or not. I acknowledge what you said. However, let me pick that apart real quick.
Yes, and I appreciate you doing that. I really do. Like, I noticed you do that. You've done that for me multiple times, and you have no idea how relieving it is for me to know, like, okay, you're not crazy. Like, you're not just speaking foreign language. They just disagree with you. He understands. They also understand. They just disagree with you, which is when I get to the point where I'm like, oh, okay, we understand each other. We can agree to disagree now. Like, okay, thank God. But all the way up to that point, I'm just trying to be understood. I'm like, okay, I get your point. Do you understand this? No, that's crazy. Okay, well, let me try to explain it this way. Let me try to explain it this way. Let me try to explain this way. And they're like, you just need to be right. Like, no, I just do not understand what I'm saying.
No, I get that. And that's why I learned a long time ago. Just listen to where they're coming from. Let them know that you understand where they're coming from.
Yes.
Empathize. But you have your own opinion about that as well.
Exactly. That's all I want, honestly.
And and like I said, for those 4 brothers, those are still I still rock with them as my brothers.
I love them.
Like, it's all respect, gentlemen. These things I seen with my own eyes. Now, granted,
he calling y'all out.
Not a call out. Like Aaron was taking it back. He said, "Hold on. I wasn't ready for this. Let me get back in this game. You ain't about to fuck me up." That was Aaron. Yeah. Cheeky almost don't want to have nothing to do with you.
Oh my God, he calls me a demon. A demon. I'm like, Cheeky, I like you. Why are you like this?
Oh man, that particular stream was hysterical. I think I went back and watched that a couple of times.
It's a lot.
He said trying to be understood, which is a good point because I'm trying to remember. It might have been. It was not this past Thursday, the Thursday before that. When you made your debut on The People Let's Talk. Mm-hmm. You talked about it was regarding rap, hip hop, and whatever the case may be. Mm-hmm. I think you said something to the degree, like who's consuming hip hop and how it's affecting Black men. Now, statistically, Black people's not consuming hip hop. You're gonna go through a bunch of white people before you think about getting to Black people, particularly Black men.
Yeah, but
Now,
they were blaming black women. So they were saying, who is to blame? Black women. And I was like, black men consume more hip hop than black women. And that's when we got into it. They were like, well, the gender thing is relevant. I was like, yeah, but you're trying to blame black women. And then now you're coming back to say the gender isn't relevant. It is. You guys obviously consume more of this hip hop male rap than black women do. Don't argue with me. So I thought that was fake. Like, that's another one of those situations where I was like, y'all know it's true.
no, right. And I was on the side of the man on the panel. It took my wife to say, I'm going to get killed for this. I know I'm going to get killed for this. It took my wife for me to understand what she was trying to say. Because she's not saying, what she's saying is the black man that consume hip hop is having a negative outreach when it comes to identity and appearances. So one thing we need to do is grab our young men and point them in another direction, so that way the narrative can change and nobody can point at that black man. And I was like, damn it, you right.
She's so good. I wish she was there, because I just need people to explain it for me. Like, if you get my concept, just please help me out, because they're not understanding me.
It was crazy. I was like, and that's when at that right there, I realized, okay, when you're talking to, the thing is, you're coming at it from a woman's point of view, and sometimes what you have to do is kind of take one hat off and put another hat on. Like, all right, let me put on fantasy. Let me look at this through the eyes of fantasy girl, which is black woman, military woman, whatever the case may be. Put on that hat and let me see what she's saying first. It's like, that's what she's trying to say. She might have not have got the right keywords out for me to realize that at the time, but at that one point, you was talking as a black woman regarding black men, and I couldn't realize that until I talked to my wife.
I'm so thankful for her. I'm so thankful, because people be eating me up. They be so mad. I'm like, I'm not trying to be defiant. I'm just trying to get you guys to understand the way that I'm seeing things. And they say they want different ideas. They don't want the same ideas. But then when you offer your different idea, is so much pushback, when it's like, you don't have to push back at all. You can literally hear my side and say, I don't agree, and move on. Like, we don't have to have this back and forth. We don't have to have this, I'm going to change your mind in this setting. So we don't have to do that. We don't need that pressure. We can just hear these different opinions and respectfully agree or disagree. But no.
Nah, you're right. You're absolutely right. Now let's go to. I had to let you know that my wife had to make sure.
Thank you, wifey.
Oh, Lord have mercy. That was interesting.